Good morning, Wabash! Speaking today at Pioneer Chapel will be Liam Thompson, Cooper Sullivan, Joe Monon, Stephen Thomas, and Coach Morel with their talk titled Monon Bell Chapel Talk. Joe Monon is a fifth-year senior and our starting center on the football team. He's a proud brother of Delta Tau Delta. And after Wabash, he plans on pursuing a career with the FBI. Liam Thompson is a fifth-year senior rhetoric major who's double minoring in Spanish and film/digital media. He is also our quarterback and three-time captain. He's a member of the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies, an innovation consultant for the CIBE, and an admissions ambassador for the college. Finally, he is a proud resident of Plaker Lodge. Cooper Sullivan is a fifth-year senior and wide receiver from Jacksonville, Florida. He's a rhetoric major and philosophy minor. He plans on pursuing a career in football post-graduation. Stephen Thomas is a senior and our starting nose tackle for the football team. He is also a proud G'd. After Wabash, he plans on pursuing a career in law enforcement. Coach Morel graduated from the University of Laverne in 1987 with a degree in history, as well as a master's in education. Morel began his coaching career at Cal State Fullerton in the Big West Conference from 1987 to 1990. Previous to his tenure at Wabash College, Morel also served as the head coach at the University of Laverne in Southern California from 1995 to 2006. During his first 4 years at Wabash, he served as the team's offensive coordinator and was promoted to head coach in 2016. Since becoming head coach, Morel has earned 2 conference championships and 3 Monon Bell victories. Let's give a warm welcome to our speakers.
Good morning, Wabash. First things first, and similar to last year, it was my mom's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Ma. I love you. Additionally, I want to thank the Sphinx Club for having us here today, as well as thank my friends, family, and teammates that I call brothers, because without them, I would not be up here today. Now, regarding this speech I'm about to give y'all, I've probably spent more time on this than I have on my senior sim paper. Professor Abbott and Professor Drury, that was a joke. In all seriousness, this is something that I've thought about deeply for the last year. But after a horrendous loss to the school down south last season, I had a hard time getting all my thoughts on paper. So who do you go to when you're having a hard time writing a paper? That's right, none other than intellectual scholar we all know, Sam Long. Although Sam and I spent a serious amount of time in the library basement spitballing about what we have liked about the Monon Bell Chapel Talks in the past, I finally came to the realization that what Sam and I talked about had 3 prominent themes. 1, the bus ride back after last year's horrendous loss. 2, how the team responded to that loss over the last year. And 3, this place is so special that a kid from Jacksonville, Florida would be willing to come to an institution with all men in the middle of nowhere. The bus ride home. November 12th, 2022 was not only a pivotal day in my time as a Wabash man, but my own life in general. After last year's Bell game, the 29-mile bus trip back home to Crawfordsville, Indiana, was the most noticeably silent I've ever heard a group of Wabash men be together in the same setting. It was as if there was a coherent realization among us all that we had no right to do anything except reflect on what had just happened and decide what to do about it. What we imagined to be a hootin' and hollering bus ride home with a 300-something pound bell turned out to be a dead, silent trip home that felt like a lifetime in itself. There was a lot of time to think on that bus ride home. Losing the Monon Bell last year left an enormous hole in my heart, a hole that could only be filled by the feeling of redemption, attained by bringing the bell back to Wabash College. It was on that bus ride I knew, without any doubt, the decision was made that our off-season started within the next 48 hours, rather than months ahead when it was time for winter workouts. Our team's response to last year. I know everyone in the chapel today is wondering, how in the hell does a team move on from a game like that? I'll tell you how. As I just stated, just about everyone on the team pulled together within the next 2 days to start working out. Essentially, everyone bought into the idea of no time off, because the outcome on November 12, 2022, served as a driving factor to handle unfinished business and achieve what this team is truly capable of. From November 14, 2022, through winter workouts, through spring ball, through fall camp, and throughout the season thus far, I have seen it in every single player's eyes how much desire there is to take back what is ours. What makes Wabash so special? I recently read about Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell and his reference to G.K. Chesterton, in which he stated, "A true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because he loves what is behind him." Now, although I don't want to make out this team to be like SEAL Team 6, this quote struck a significant chord with me. Every single person who is a part of this team has fought throughout the offseason and up until this point, not because of the hatred for the school down south, but because we love the Wabash community, and we owe it to everyone involved with Wabash to do so. Come Saturday, you will see a band of brothers take the field with the Wabash College campus overflowing with support in scarlet and white. You'll see a team coherently driven by the same goal, a goal to take back what is rightfully ours. And just to be clear, we will be drinking out of that bell Saturday night. To my teammates, think of all that time, every sprint and wait in the spring and the winter, all the hours no one else saw. Think of every sacrifice, early mornings in the field house, late nights watching film, bus rides to Virginia and Ohio. It's all led to this game on Saturday. After all the hours we have put in, one more can make us NCAC champions and allow us to bring that damn bell back. I love you guys, and I'd just like it to be known, I'd rather be 6 feet under than 29 miles south. Ding, ding.
Good morning, Wabash. First, I would like to thank the Sphinx Club for giving us the honor to speak today. I would also like to thank my teammates, who are like brothers at this point, for electing me as captain. Thank you to the coaches, not only for coaching me in football, but giving me all the life lessons along the way. And lastly, I would like to thank my parents, who have supported me playing the game of football for 17 years, and in those 17 years, never missing a game. Wabash has many great traditions. Whether it's not being able to walk under the arch, not being able to walk on the W in the Allen Center, or his chapel talks that we have every Thursday. But one tradition that I never understood throughout my time at Wabash was the bell game and the rivalry against the school down south. I never understood the dislike between the schools at all. I felt that although the bell game was a serious rivalry game, at the end of the day, it was just another opponent to play against. I never understood it until one snowy afternoon about a year ago, when I stood and watched a sea of black and gold flood the field and take the bell from us. I will never forget the people, black and gold, walking past us, flipping us off, saying vulgar words, and mocking us, all while they carried the bell away to be locked up in a case for a year. In that moment, I learned that it isn't just another game. It's something that's personal. What do you do when you're knocked down and humiliated? Do you give up and find something else to do? No. You get up, you dust yourself off, and get back to work, because that's what a Wabash man does. You take that anger that you have from being humiliated and you make sure it never happens again. You store it away and use it to fuel you. Because at Wabash, giving up is not a choice. There's a sense of pride that comes with being a Wabash man and a set of expectations that need to be met, whether it's sports or school or anything in your life. You work your tail off to make your team, your school, and your family proud, because when you do it for yourself, you will quit when it gets tough. So when you're a part of a team, you work for your teammates, your brothers. And that's what we did as a team. We helped each other off the snowy ground and went to work together for a whole year. Getting up at 5 in the morning to walk through the freezing cold just to go through what seemed like hell once we were practicing. Working in the darkness, awaiting our chance to redeem ourselves and to correct a mistake that never should have happened. And luckily, God blessed us with the same scenario as last year, not only having a chance to take back the bell, but also the chance to earn a ring and secure a trip to the playoffs. Yeah, Jimmy. I'm sure the Dannies want the bell pretty bad, but they don't need it like we do. Losing isn't an option because we as a school work too hard for opportunities to get taken from us. At Wabash, we need to win. We need to achieve greatness because it feels wrong settling for anything less than greatness. And when I think of the school down south, I know they are not like us. They do not have the toughness and the discipline to go through what a Wabash man goes through. They do not need it like we do. I know that they will fold under the feeling of mild discomfort because they have no brotherhood. They are a selfish group. But even an amateur fighter gets a lucky punch and knocks down a world champion. And a year ago on that snowy afternoon, we got knocked down. But that uppercut is going to hit real good coming off the ground. And when they're the ones on the ground, looking up at us to see the anger in our eyes that we've hid for a whole year, they're going to be hearing one thing from the sideline: ding, ding.
Good morning, Wabash. Before diving too deep into my speech, I would like to thank all of my teammates for electing me as a captain and putting their trust in me to be a leader on this team for a second time. It is an honor. I also want to thank my family, who without their support, I definitely would not be standing here in front of you all today. Every season prior to the first home game, our team conducts our most influential male ceremony. For those who do not know, during this tradition, each senior presents to the team the most influential male in their lives, as well as give a few reasons as to why that person is their most influential male. I had the privilege of introducing my dad, and when it came to my explanation, I cited many reasons. But the primary one that I expanded on was an idea that my dad had instilled within me from a young age, which is that no matter how hard life beats you down, there's always someone who is relying on you to fight on. Well, guys, guess what? We find ourselves as a team and as a school at the pinnacle of our season, and there is no shortage of people who are relying on us to go out and work harder than ever to achieve greatness and defend this school. On Saturday, we get the opportunity to write the 10th chapter of the book that we started writing all the way back on January 18th at 6 a.m. in the field house. And believe me, the result will be much different than that of last year. Let's face the cold hard truth. We didn't even get off the bus last year, let alone put ourselves in a position to win that game, and it clearly showed. But at the end of the day, tough times create tough men, and the Wabash football team that sits before me and you all today is a group of tough men who not only love one another, but are willing to sacrifice everything in the name of victory and brotherhood. Saturday's contest will no doubt be the hardest challenge that this team has had to face. But I would have it no other way, and I know that they wouldn't either. As Wabash men, we live for opportunities like the one we will face on Saturday. It is, after all, why we all chose to come to Wabash. The Bell Game is a culmination of all the work that each student, faculty member, coach, alumnus, and everyone who calls Wabash home has put in during their time here. And with all the good and all the bad that goes on in our world, for one weekend of the year, we as a Wabash community are afforded the chance to unite and do what we do best: fight. And speaking directly to my teammates, first off, it has been an honor to play next to you during my time here. But don't get me wrong, our journey will not end on Saturday. We will win this game, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Not out of arrogance, you see, but because I have seen how hard you all have worked to reach this point. We are close to achieving the greatness that I referenced earlier. But as I said, it will not be easy. However, as is often said by our coaches, nothing worth anything in life is ever gained easily. And to further reinforce this point, I invoke the words of Theodore Roosevelt, who states, "Never throughout history has a man who lived a life of ease left a name worth remembering." DePaul has not had to endure the hardships that we have this year. They have not known what it's like to play teams like Hampton-Sydney or Butler, or lose a critical game to Denison, to then have to work and sacrifice again and again over the last half of the season to get to this point. So I ask you, Little Giants, how do you want to be remembered? I've seen it in your eyes, and I've watched it in your preparation. You all believe in this cause. And in closing, I just wanted to say that the Bell in all its glory is simply a byproduct of grit and determination. And when we win it on Saturday, it will be because we, as a band of brothers, all love each other more than we hate DePaul, and are willing to line up across from them over and over again until they fold. We will fight as always until the very end, and we will finally achieve that greatness. And all I have left to say is that heaven have mercy on the DePaul Tigers, because I know for a fact the Little Giants will not. Let's go win a championship Saturday.
Good morning, Wabash. Though it may seem like Groundhog's Day, I promise this will be my last Monon Bell Chapel speech. I'm extremely grateful and honored to stand up in front of you all, but this will be the last one because I can't keep writing them, and you all sure as hell don't want to keep listening to me up here. On a serious note, I would like to thank the Sphinx Club for inviting me and the captains to speak today, and I would also like to thank my teammates for choosing me as a captain this year. The honor is not lost on me, and there is nowhere else I would rather be. I would like to thank all the people in my life that love me and that I love, that sacrificed so much for me to be where I am, and to help me live out my dreams and be here today. This speech feels a little bit different than years past. In my first 3 seasons here, we've had some incredible teams, players, and moments. Yet we fell short numerous times of reaching our goals and have not always lived up to the standard of what it means to wear the scarlet and white. But this season, we focus on restoring Wabash football to its former glory, to stick true to our word, and to accomplish our goals as a team. But the job is not yet finished. It also feels different because I'll be playing my last guaranteed football game at Little Giant Stadium this Saturday. Ever since I can remember, I dreamed of playing college football. I dreamed of crowds and glory and scoring touchdowns and winning games. But as I reflect on my time here at Wabash, these won't be the things that I remember. I'll remember the moments with my teammates, the times we laughed, cried, and held each other accountable. Talked about our hopes and dreams and worked hard to try to make them a reality. The hot days of summer camp and the cold Wednesdays in late October with the boys. I'll look back on my time here and do nothing but smile. I stand here today with nothing but gratitude that I've had the privilege of being a part of this program. But I'm not done. We're not done. This game is why we as Wabash football players decided to come here. Because it means more. Because when Wabash is bell-less, this place is different. Because we care. And as much as it hurts to say this, I know that last year was painful, but I know that in the end we won. We won because this group of guys realized that we could do more, that we have to do more, and this school deserved more than what we gave last year. I and all my teammates are here today because when Wabash men get punched in the mouth, we don't run away. We come back for more. Let's send the Dannies packing Saturday and take back what's ours. Ding, ding.
Good morning, Wabash. I want to thank the Sphinx Club for all they do and allowing us to be here today. You know, Monon Bell is another one of those great traditions the campus holds. It's very much like chapel sing, just without the violence. Relax, have a little fun here, people. I'd like to recognize my coaching staff who has worked tirelessly for the last 12 months, and if they could please stand. I deeply appreciate the thousands of hours you guys have put in. I'd also like to mention that every coach, I'd like to mention and recognize every athletic coach in this building and all they do for Wabash College. So many special people in here. I can't recognize all of them. I do want to say thank you, as always, Cal and Marcia Black, who constantly bake food for the coaches, Jimmy Hafner, who usually eats the food. I need to mention Olivia and Mike. They're somewhere back there. Hey, we had 2 trainers this year. And as I mentioned, the Monon Bell Chapel being a great tradition, I'd also like to recognize the creators of the newest Wabash tradition, Chef and Mary Jo Chicken Tender Wednesdays. It's what gets you through the week, right? You got something to look forward to. You know, as you know, I have a very unique job on this campus. I spend most of my days screaming at Brody Fry and Cal Pulowski, Drew Foster, Connor Garrity. But I've come to realize they're not dumb guys. They're just sig guys. But I will hand it to the SIG guys. At least they didn't try to burn their house down. Well, we have quite a task this Saturday as the heavily favored, undefeated DePaul Tigers join us for a scrap on the old gridiron. And as you've heard, they clobbered us last year. But my money, if the NCAA would allow me to bet, is going to be on the Little Giants. They've worked so hard to get to this point. We've traveled over 4,000 bus miles this season, and with the Saturday win, we'll bring the bell home. You know, I was talking to the team earlier this week, and they know I'm a little nuts. And I mentioned that when I'm flipping the TV around, there are some movies that stop me in my track. One is Die Hard. Man, love some Die Hard. Throws that chair down the elevator shaft, blows the building up. That's my scene. The first Fast and Furious, can't stop. Can't stop. Various Harry Potters, I'm locked in. So let me ask, do we have any Spider-Man guys out here? I seem to always stumble upon the same scene from the first movie, and it's Peter Parker and his quote, "Whatever comes our way, whatever battles we have raging inside of us, we always have a choice. It's the choices that make us who we are, and we can choose to do right." Every man in this room chose the right college, Wabash, and it was the right choice. On Saturday, we will do what's right. Ding, ding.